learners. Today we are going to discuss about stress management and we'll see the different techniques how we can manage them. So today we are going to cover three units, unit 6, 7 and 8. All these three units are related to stress management techniques. So what we are going to discuss in this uh, unit 6, the like what is the objective of this chapter, then introduction, relaxation technique, meditation, yoga, mindfulness and biofeedback. So we'll try to discuss about the techniques of stress management, relaxation technique, yoga, mindfulness and biofeedback. So after this listening this class you will be able to understand what are these techniques. So, stress management techniques may include relaxation technique, meditation, mindfulness, and cognitive restructuring, problem solving, etc. There are personal choices in terms of adopting these techniques. Therefore, individual differences also exist. So, it means that the one person who is using one technique may not be suitable for other person. So, it's the personal choice and suitability of the technique for the particular person. So for some yoga may work and for other relaxation technique like pranayam or JPMR is more suitable. Let us see what is relaxation techniques. So a number of physiological changes occur in stress, we all know. They may include rapid breathing, increased heartbeat and pulse rate and tightening of muscles, etc. Relaxation technique can be effectively deal with such physiological problems. These techniques also help in dealing with anxiety, get better sleep, regulation of blood pressure, and reduce headache and migraine. So not only these techniques help in relaxing, it also help in managing several physiological or physical elements. One of the most popular relaxation technique is JPMR, Jacobson Progressive Muscle Relaxation. So let us see what is it. It involves deep muscle relaxation. This technique assumes that relaxation and tension cannot occur at the same time because of the two different autonomic nervous systems, parasympathetic and sympathetic. They both reciprocally inhibit each other. Like if sympathetic system is active, so parasympathetic system cannot be active at the same time. This technique involves contracting various body muscles and then relaxing them. The exercise can be carried out for approximate 20 minutes. So some requirement for the JPMR is like it can be practiced in a comfortable place. You have to lie down on a bed or a yoga mat, and there should not be any distraction. And it should be taken care of that the person should not have backache or teeth ache, like or suffering from any other uh, bone related problems. So it mainly starts with breathing in, holding the breath and let it go. So like you ask the patient to lie down on the bed and then you ask the patient to breathe slowly, breathe in and out slowly, close the eyes and try to relax. Then you give instruction. It is related to the almost all muscles of the body, and generally it's like 26 muscles involved in this exercise. It starts with the wrist. You ask the patient, like tight your fist as tightly as you can. Feel the tension in your fist. Feel the tension. Now slowly release it. Slowly lose your fist. Open it slowly. Feel the relaxation in your palm. So this is the way to do this exercise, and that way you have to do one by one. Like first it starts with the right fist, then left fist, and after that both the hand together. So it involves actually muscles of palms, wrists, arms, shoulders, neck, forehead, eyes, scalp, jaws, chest, stomach, lower back, buttocks, thigh, calf, toes. So almost from fist to toes, almost all muscles are involved in this exercise. And this exercise is very helpful in management of anxiety. And in certain psychological interventions like management of phobia, systematic desensitization, relaxation, GPMR is given first, then the therapy. Let us see what is meditation. Meditation means dhyan. So this is a Sanskrit word dhyan. So this is quieting the mind to gain awareness and intensify personal spiritual growth. Helps in gaining self-awareness and body relaxation. So meditation is found to be very useful in many types of physical and psychological problems. So different types of meditations are available. Mindfulness, becoming aware about one's thought, and another one is a transcendental, like chanting of a mantra or a word repeatedly. So like chanting of Om or any other word which can be selected by the chanter. Then guided meditation. This is like this meditation is practiced under the supervision of a guru. The teacher tells how to do meditation, and the person follows those process. So basically, the person visualizes certain images which may be relaxing in the presence of a guide. Another type of meditation is vipassana. Vipassana is basically self-observation in order to transform oneself. One type of meditation is loving kindness called metta. So it is basically directing love and kindness towards self, then to family, then friends, then other significant others, and the whole world. So the word in Sanskrit is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. So this is type of loving kindness meditation. Then another type of meditation is chakra. So activating seven chakras located in different body parts. So one chakra is here, and they are represented by a certain color. So let us see what is yoga. Now the yoga or meditation is used interchangeably, but if, if, if we discuss it in detail, we find they are little different. So we all celebrate 21st Yoga Day on 21st June, and yoga, the meaning is uniting consciousness and body. Some of the people say that it is uniting oneself with the supreme power. So it is originated in India, and the main goal of yoga is self-realization. You try to understand what you are, and it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, mainly three types of yoga given: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. There is also mention about the Ashtanga Yoga. So basically, Karma Yoga is related to one's action. It focuses on we have to do certain actions. Why? Because these are our duties, and we cannot uh, avoid ourselves, escape from those duties. So if those duties are done without any much attachment, so then it is considered as karma yoga, and it is one of the way to get moksha. Whereas in bhakti yoga, it is basically related to devotion. You are devoted to God, and then you are basically doing lots of bhakti, chanting mantras or reading religious books or doing some pujas in temple or gurdwara or in mosque. Another one is Jnana Yoga. According to Jnana Yoga, like if you improve your knowledge, if you try to understand the world, yourself, God, so it will be helpful in your living. Ashtanga Yoga is basically related to certain types of postures and exercises. Let us see what are the different types of Ashtanga Yoga. So there are eight types of dimensions of yoga: yam, niyam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, pranayama. So yoga mainly involves asanas. So in asanas, yoga mainly involves postures, breathing exercises, and meditation. Postures carried out in specified manners are known as asanas, and these postures should be, or these asanas should be learned from a reputed or known experienced teachers. So these are the main types of asanas: Padmasana, Sukhasana, Siddhasana, Vajrasana, Trikonasana, Bhujangasana, and Pranayama. This is one example of Padmasana, like the you can sit in lotus pose and practice it by sitting straight on the ground with feet on top of your thighs, like in this picture. And then Sukhasana is like sitting cross-legged, can be used during meditation. And Siddhasana, it is also similar to Padmasana, sitting with toes tucked into thigh. Vajrasana is like sitting on one's heel by placing palms on knees. So this exercise, like this asana, is very much effective in improving digestive system. That's why many of the people, after having lunch or dinner, they sit in this position for 2 to 3 minutes. It helps in digestion. Trikonasana, this like you can stand on the floor with legs apart, stretch body to the left, keep the spine straight, face body toward the front of the arms perpendicular to the floor, and raise right hand straight up. Bhujangasana, Bhujanga means snake or cobra. So this is like snake position. Lie face down on the floor, hand on the floor below the shoulder. Lift chest and head slowly. Keep the elbow near the body. Pranayam. So pranayam is basically breathing exercise for stress relief and other benefits. Put right thumb on right nostril like this, and then inhale deeply through the left nostril, and then close the left nostril with index finger and exhale through right nostril after holding for few seconds. So you can see like I put my thumb on right nostril, and now I am inhaling from left nostril. So now I am inhaling, exhaling from right nostril. So this you have to do alternately. Inhale from one nostril, exhale from another one. Then from same nostril inhale, then exhale from other nostril. Then again inhale from the same nostril and exhale from the other. Coming to mindfulness, so this is basically awareness about one's thinking, feeling, and physical sensation, becoming non-judgmental in one's awareness, paying attention to those things which we generally do not while we are occupied in activities of daily life. So this mindfulness was given by uh, So this mindfulness was given by Buddhist philosophy. Generally, it is given there, and Buddhists they generally practice it. So whatever is coming into your mind, negative thoughts, wrong thoughts, unethical thoughts, no need to fight with them, no need to control them, no need to stop them. Just become aware as if you are seeing a movie. Okay. Accept that. Do not judge those thoughts. That these are bad, these are good. Just watch them. And at the same time, try to involve in doing your day-to-day activities. So, what are the characteristics of mindfulness? Non-judgmental, cultivating patience, then being open-minded, having trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. Then what happens if you practice mindfulness? It strengthens your immune system, relieve stress and anxiety, strengthens memory, attention, problem solving, and decision making, enhance self-esteem, and positive impact on eating problems. Let us see what is biofeedback. So basically, biofeedbacks are machines, instruments which are used to relax the person. So making unconscious or involuntary processes perceptible to the senses in order to manipulate them by conscious mental control. So like in relaxation exercise APMR, you consciously feel the tension and then you try to release the tension and feel the relaxation. So this is non-invasive in nature, helps in comprehending effect of stress on body. So individual in better control of all physiological changes, like you can manage your pulse rate, respiratory rate, heartbeat, everything. They can be managed better. Physiological arousal can be better dealt with, better control over physical responses of the body towards stress. So in this unit 6, we had discussed about the relaxation technique, mainly JPMR, then meditation, different types of meditations, yoga, mindfulness, and biofeedback. Now we'll see unit 7. So here we are going to discuss about the cognitive restructuring and time management. Under time management, we will see time management metrics and techniques of time management. So, after listening this lecture, you will be able to understand the what is cognitive restructuring, and you will be definitely able to manage your time well. So, first we'll see what is cognitive restructuring. So it is basically process of replacing stress-provoking negative thoughts and beliefs with more constructive and realistic ones, which reduce cognitive appraisal of the threat. Sometimes there is a tendency we see the negative aspects more. It mainly involves changing the thinking process, making thinking more rational and positive. So ABCD technique used in REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy. So a technique of um, this is proposed by Albert Ellis. A means activating event. There must be some activating event. B means belief. C means consequences. D means disputing beliefs, and E means effect. So let us try to understand this from this graph. Like there must be some activating effect, then belief, and it could be rational or irrational. Then the consequences could be like emotional or behavioral in a positive term. You feel happy or good, or you do something. Whereas in negative terms, it could be sorrow, it could be pain, and you do nothing, and then you try to dispute the belief, detecting, discriminating, and debating, and the effect will be there. So let us understand with this example. Like you made a mistake during presentation at work or in your exam, so there will be some belief associated with it. Like you may think it happens sometimes, or you may feel I am inadequate. So all these two things have certain consequences. If you think that it happens sometimes, so what will happen? You feel slightly bad, slightly sad, and you try harder for next time. But when you feel inadequate, what happens? You feel dejected. The consequences will be dejected. Will give up. You think that it is not in your control. You can't do. You can't pass this exam. You can't do such type of presentation, and you try to study. Avoid. You try to avoid studying in future, or try to avoid doing such presentation in future. So irrational beliefs are disputed by detecting, discriminating, and debating them. The ability to dispute provides more positive outlook towards activating event, and more rational outlook towards activating events help in managing stress in an effective manner. Now let us see the time management. So try to understand it carefully so you will be able to manage your time in future. So time in management involves making the best use of the time that one has. And we all are having only 24 hours in a day. It includes planning, controlling the waste of time, implementation of some time saving and productive techniques, prioritization, scheduling, execution of the plan. So first we'll see the last three, and then later on we'll see planning and other things. So we'll start from prioritization. Like it involves listing tasks and responsibility according to the priority. So the most important tasks should be done, most urgent tasks should be done first. ABC rank order and time management metrics can be used. Uh, so we'll discuss the time management metrics later on. Then ABC rank order method is A for urgent task, B for moderate urgency task, and C for least urgent task. So you can develop your own way, but this can also be done. Another thing is scheduling. So related to time schedule to each task mainly deals with how to get the task done at the right time and how to carry them. So like it is making the timetable. Uh, Techniques used like clustering, time boxing, and dismantling. So what is clustering? It is similar tasks are grouped together. So same task, more or less similar type of tasks are in one group. So you can decide how that can be done. Time boxing, a large amount of time. So some of the time is allotted for a certain task. Like some task may need more time, sometimes task may need less time. Dismantling, like large tasks are broken down into smaller ones, so it will become easy to do those tasks. These smaller tasks must be easy to carry out and manage. For example, you have to submit assignment or project. So how you can do? So there are long answer, short answer, very short answer. So first you finish long answer. After finishing it, then you do moderate answer, then short answer. So that way you can dismantle the whole task. So it's not like you are writing your assignment in one go in one sitting. It's like in a different segment. Third one is execution, like carrying out the task after the phase of planning and scheduling. High level of motivation is required for execution. One way of One way to motivate oneself is by self-rewarding. So whatever you do, you reward yourself. Suppose you want to complete the whole book, but you have completed only two chapters. So reward for these two chapters. Oh, I have completed two chapters, and I will complete another chapter. So these reward could be tangible or intangible, or big or small. Then intrinsic motivation is better in comparison to extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation means you feel motivation from inside. So you may not need reward from others. You may not need good words for yourself from others. You know what you are. Whereas in extrinsic motivation, you basically need something from outside, like your parents would say, yes, well done, like that. So let us see the matrix. So before seeing the matrix, like there are four quadrants based on the urgency and importance of the task. The first quadrant is that includes tasks that are urgent and important. The second quadrant is important but not urgent. The third quadrant is urgent but not important. The time management matrix can help one in one's life to manage time effectively. So now we'll see this matrix. So urgent and not urgent. In left side, important and not important. So box one is important as well as urgent. So these are the tasks you have to do, try to finish within time immediately, like certain emergencies, crisis or problems, project having deadline or assignments having deadline, or certain other pressing issues. So all these things should be done within time limit and as soon as possible. Whereas not urgent but important, like planning, exercise, training, health related issues. So they are important but not urgent. Like you can plan and then you can do such things. Whereas some tasks are urgent but not important, like some emails and phone calls, chatting on WhatsApp, like you have received some message which you have to reply, but even you can reply after some time. It's not very important. Certain minor issues and certain meeting which are not very important, and there are certain tasks definitely they are not urgent, not important at all, like seeing the junk mails, routine tasks, time wasters like reading newspaper while you have to complete your assignments, or watching TV unnecessarily. Now let us see the techniques of time management. So planner system. Like it can be in form of a diary or a notebook or any other form that one finds to be convenient. Like you plan all the activities, all the tasks. At least around 10 minutes of a day is kept aside to do the planning. Planning provides clear picture of the activities to be carried out in a day, and it also helps in preventing one from doing varied activities at wrong time in wrong ways. So if you have the planning of these things, so it will be easy for you. So if this include, like in a step, there are three steps. So in step one, this include developing a list of tasks that need to be carried out each day. Here, all tasks that are not routine could be mentioned. So, routine task and non-routine task. For example, uh, like getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock, or going or wishing someone or friends on a birthday, buy a gift for your friend, or meeting with the project supervisor, get the assignment ready by this time, and helping mother in certain household chores. In step 2, a priority letter is assigned to each task on the list created in the previous steps. So you have the whole list called gamut of list. So you have to prioritize them. A means the uh, highly urgent and important task. So ABCD can be used. So, for example, like A, B, C, this way. So, A means ki these are very important and urgent work which must be done immediately. In step 3, symbols can be assigned to the status of the task. Like you have made the list, you have given them certain number or symbols for, like those are important, less important, most important. So same way, when you have completed the task or at the end of the day, you have to give some mark, like tick mark has been given for completed task. So if you have completed out of 10, you have completed 3, so put tick mark on 3, or and Like arrow can be when task need to be rescheduled, like it is not possible to complete the task today or to do the task today, so you are rescheduling it. And o can be uh, assigned when you are giving your task to someone else, you can do it for me. And cross can be assigned when you are deleting the task, when the task is not important or time has been passed, so now you cannot do that task. Now see the how you block the time wasters. So there could be time wasting mails and emails or WhatsApps. Lots of things coming in the WhatsApp. We start reading. They are not very important, but still we complete the readings. So sometimes time wasters could also be people. Uh, Like someone will come, sit in your room, or will start talking to you, and it will waste your lots of time. So, in which case, one needs to handle the situation in a delicate manner, because if you say the person you are wasting my time, the person may feel offended. So, you have to be polite, but you have to be assertive. So, the person can be politely and specifically asked to meet again or have a brief conversation without sounding sarcastic or accusing. So you should develop certain skills when you have to study how you say no, or how you can cut short the talk and go to your study. Delegation. So delegation is assigning the task to someone else, but some of the tasks you have to do only. For example, um, doing assignments, project work, practicals file, writing practical files, writing internship file. All these things you must do by yourself. Do not delegate. If you delegate, your learning will hamper. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Delegation of task means you have to do certain household work, so you can delegate someone else. Request you are busy, so they can do. Or you have to go and submit the electricity bill, or to go to the bank for some work. So that task also can be delegated. So most often individuals do not delegate because they think they will do the task on their own, because it will be more correct. Lack confidence in others, they think others may not do carefully, or fear of deadlines, if others will not do, then what will happen. They lack the skill, time, or both in delegating work to others. So this skill should also be learned by the students. So other works which actually takes their time from the study should be delegated to others. Procrastination is it is basically delaying to do any task. जो intentional postponement or delaying of task or activities. So this may be because of stress, lack of information, caution, and others. And one may also procrastinate due to certain inappropriate causes, uncertainty, tasks seem to be difficult to handle, perfectionism. Some people have tendency to do the task perfectly, and the task should be done on perfect time. So all these things will lead to procrastination. How to deal with procrastination? So broken down the task into smaller tasks, smaller pieces, maintain a to-do list on a daily basis. You can write it on the mobile or in a notebook. Have a or a writing pad. Have a specific goal and work according to it. Avoid perfectionism. Seek help from others as and when required. So now let us see the unit 8. And in this unit, we'll see interpersonal skills. These are very important. Interpersonal skills not only just manage our stress, but also it improves our way of functioning, our time management, our problem solving skills, and our personality. So it is very much related to each and every aspect of us. So in interpersonal skills, we'll say effective communication, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and problem solving. Let us see one by one. So after this chapter, you will be able to understand what is interpersonal skills, and you will be able to use some of them in your day-to-day life. Same way, problem solving. So whenever there is a problem, you will be able to solve your problem. Let us see first interpersonal skills. So, the behaviors and qualities that individuals display when interacting with others is basically interpersonal skills. Effective interpersonal skills help in developing positive relationship with other individuals. Lesser conflicts and positive communication and interaction do if you have good interpersonal skills. So, what is effective communication? So, communication meaning of communication is common or sharing. It came from Latin word communis. So, continuous process and involves give and take of information. Necessarily two parties who have the ability to convey the information as well as listen. The messages can be verbal or it could be non-verbal. So communication is not only like speaking something, it's verbal and non-verbal. So effective communication, the first component of effective communication is active listening. People think communication means the person should have good orating skills. No, the basic quality of effective communication is active listening. So the more emphasis should be on the listening. You need to put the speaker or other person at ease. The speaker or other person needs to feel or sense that you are willing to listen and are paying full attention to what he wants to say. So if you show this type of gestures, so it gives that you are a good listener. But we remember that be caution that whatever persons are saying and you are trying to listen, no, it should be goal directed. That we will discuss later. So empathize with the other person who is speaking, display patience, manage your emotions as you listen what the other person has to say. Sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you feel angry, so you have to manage your emotions. No need to show such emotions to the speaker. Ask questions wherever you need to clarify and use paraphrasing wherever required. Ensure mutual understanding. So pay attention to the non-verbal behavior of the speaker. Be non-judgmental and keep an open mind while listening. Be conscious of your own non-verbal behavior and maintain eye contact and a relaxed posture. So basically these points are very important while you are talking to a subject or a participant or a patient. Another thing is open to feedback. So we all know that communication is a two-way process. So remaining open to feedback to know that the message or information is received by the receiver or not, and healthy habit to seek a remaining open to feedback. So like whatever you have said, or the if the person has the opportunity to give feedback, so it will be better for the further improvement of the communication. So if you are open to feedback, you may not feel very much offended on if the negative feedback is given to you, because you are open, you are always working to overcome those negatives. So another thing is non-verbal behavior. So expression of feelings, emotions, opinions through facial expressions, gestures, or bodily movement come under non-verbal behaviors. So focus on the body posture. Positive non-verbal behaviors are regular eye contact. So you maintain the eye contact with the speaker or to whom you are speaking. nodding one's hand to head to show agreement sometimes, but too much nodding is not required, and leaning slightly forward to show attentiveness. Like if you sit like this, it may not be giving very good impression, but if you listen like this, so people think yes, you are interested in that. So negative non-verbal behaviors are avoiding eye contact, excessive yawning, slumped shoulders or head down, this or this. So such things should be avoided. So let us see the common barriers to communication. There are certain physical barriers like distraction or noise when you are talking to someone. If distractors are there, noise is there, you may not be very comfortable, and it may not be come out to be a good communication in between two. Geographical distance and poor timing while speaking, channel of communication is not appropriate, information is inadequate, overload of information, breakdown of communication network. So all these are physical barriers. Like if two people are staying separate at a separate place, different place, so their communication will be less than those who are staying together, attending class together. That there are psychological barriers like semantic barriers, perceptual distortions, and biases. If you are biased towards some person, like he is not a very good person, so your communication will be affected. You will not be communicating in same the same way which you are having communication with your friends. Your affective states, if your mood is good, you would like to communicate. If your mood is not good, you try to avoid communication. If you are using multiple those words which have multiple meanings, so the listener may get confused. Lack of feedback, if you're not getting feedback or not giving feedback, so the communication may affect. Preconceived notions, halo effect, and closement. All these things are psychological barriers. There are cultural barriers also, like language. So, if you meet someone in Kerala from uh, Punjab, so you do not know the language Malayalam, and the person from Kerala is also does not know the Punjabi language. So, it will be very difficult to have communication between two. So, like demographic factors like age, gender, and so on, and stereotypes. Certain stereotypes are there, like boys should not talk to girls. In some culture, it's there. Prejudices is there in our mind related to gender, religion, certain caste. So, due to those prejudices, we do not have a good communication. So, another thing is personal communication. So, personal space. So we all have personal space. Imaginary bubble around an individual denoting the distance that the individual is comfortable when interacting with others. Each one of us have the imaginary bubble around us. This bubble has three walls: the inner, middle, and outer wall, like this. So, a self awareness as realization of oneself as an individual entity. In simple terms, the extent of awareness about one's own feeling, thoughts, and behavior. So, what happens in self awareness? Intimate zone and personal zone and business zone. So, you can understand your close friends, your family members are in intimate zone, whereas your all other friends, other persons are in personal zone, and in business where only just for business purpose you are, or just for a courtesy you are talking to, so that is business zone. So let us see this matrix also. If you are known to self and known to others, so open area, it is an open area called arena. But if you are not known to yourself but known to others, others are knowing about those traits but you are not aware about those traits, so these are called blind spots. If you are known to self but not known to others, it is hidden area. And if you are not known to self and not known to others, it is unknown or dark area. So the window can be used to see how an individual represents his feelings, views, and attitudes in relations to others. First window, arena, that represents information, views, attitude, feelings that are known to self as well as known to others. Second window, closed, that represents information, views, attitude, feelings that are known to self but not known to others. Third window is blind, that represents information, views, attitudes, feelings that are not known to self but known to others. Fourth window is dark, no one knows about it, neither you nor others. Let us see the emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, the ability to monitor one's own and others' feeling and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking and actions. In other words, a process that involves recognizing, using, understanding, and managing one's own emotions as well as those of others. So there are five components of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness. This is one of the components of emotional intelligence that can help an individual identify and manage his emotions effectively. Self-regulation. This mainly denotes the self-control that an individual has in expressing one's emotion. Self-motivation. Individuals need to be driven by internal forces rather than external forces. Empathy. Understanding or comprehending emotions and feelings displayed by others. Social skills. Social skills can help build and maintain positive interpersonal relationships. Conflict resolution, some kind of incompatibility between two or more parties. So if incompatibility is more, the conflict will be more. So the ways in which conflict can be dealt with or resolved is called conflict resolution. Interpersonal relationships can be majorly hindered by interpersonal conflict. We all know this. So some certain way to resolve conflict is competition, accommodation, collaboration, compromise. So what is competing? This is used by individuals who engage in conflict necessarily to win. There is a win-lose situation. Individual using this may display assertiveness but not cooperation. In accommodation, what happens? Cooperativeness, not being assertive, though this again may not be healthy as one of the parties may just give in, and as such the conflict remains unresolved. This is a lose and win strategy. Collaborating, individuals are assertive as well as cooperative. So this is the best way. The parties may come up with an agreed solution to resolve the conflict. This can also be termed as win-win strategies. Another thing is compromising. In this, in this, each of the party will compromise in some way. There is partial cooperation and assertiveness, and the parties may not completely satisfied. They are not dissatisfied as well. Coming to problem solving, the last part of the paper, this our lecture. So a mental process that includes discovery, analysis of the problem in order to find a solution for it, solve for finding solution to a particular problem at hand, which may be direct or indirect source of the stress. So categories of problem solving: routine problems for which immediate solution is available, non-routine problems like problems for which solution is not easily or immediately available and thus analysis needs to be carried out. Well-defined problems have goals that are clear, and further the problem can also be divided into sub-goals. Ill-defined problems, the goal is not clear and specific. So steps of problem solving. So we are going to discuss about the five steps. Step one is identification of problem. The problem needs to be identified and defined. We all know. Focus should also be on what actually is causing the problem, helps gaining an insight about the problems and its causes. Step 2 is brainstorming for ideas and solutions. Once the problem is defined, the individual can now try and identify possible solutions for the problem. While doing so, cues can also be taken from the way the individual sorted his or her problem effectively in the past. Help can also be sought from significant others in the individual's life. Step 3 is selecting a solution. So you have list of solution, you are selecting one. An individual needs to look at the solution realistically and also think about what feelings and emotions will be generated if particular solutions are used. Further, the possible consequences, both positive and negative, also need to be focused on. Step 4 is implementing the plan. So, whatever solution you thought it is good, you are implementing it. Once the problem as well as the solution is identified, it is time to implement the solution and work accordingly in direction of solving the problem. And step 5 is reflecting on the effectiveness of the solution. Whatever solution you have used, you see that it is effective or not. So the individual needs to reflect on whether the solution selected by him has given positive result or not, and whether the problem was resolved or not. Further, if any lacuna or loopholes were noticed in the implementation of the solution, the same can also be focused on. Let us see the strategies of problem solving. So one strategy is trial and error, where we do not know the exact way of doing and we try and ultimately we find the answer. So the individual will keep on trying varied solution till he is able to solve the problem. This strategy can be time consuming because lots of trials are needed. Another way is Another strategy is heuristics, mental shortcuts that minimize the investment of time as well as attention, rules of thumb that are used in order to obtain easy and fast solution, though the solution derived may not be the most adequate or appropriate to solve the problem. Another one is algorithm, stepwise approach to solve the problem. It maximizes the chances that the solution selected will be adequate and appropriate, may be time consuming, and may involve numerous steps. Insight. During problem solving process, individuals may have an insight where solution may suddenly occur. So let us see what we had discussed today. Like in this unit, we have discussed about the interpersonal skills. So we have seen the effective communication skills. We have discussed about the self-awareness. It helps us in very much in interpersonal skills, and in some of the areas we are not very comfortable, and emotional intelligence we have discussed, conflict resolution we have discussed, in problem solving we have discussed 5 steps and strategies. Thank you.